Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. I am a connoisseur in two things and two things only. Those two things being books, obviously, and then also music. I feel like honestly I never get to talk in depth about like my favorite music of all time, so that is literally the excuse of why I'm filming today's video. In today's video I'm going to press shuffle on my favorite songs playlist on Spotify, and then I'm going to pick a book that correlates to that song to give you guys some book recommendations. I feel like it has to be a sad one. It really itches a part of my brain. I feel like it fits the lyrics. So do you guys care about vibe? I'm so sorry to like put that on you guys and say the title because it just brings me to tears. Let's go ahead and see what our first song is. Okay, we are starting on a very, very high note with I Love You, I'm Sorry by Gracie Abrams. I Love You, I'm Sorry has recently, I feel like, just taken the internet by storm. The internet also including me, okay? I love Gracie Abrams. I mean, I've loved her music for years. I Love You, I'm Sorry is just one of those songs for me that I feel like it could correlate to so many books. I'm like, let me take a peek at my bookshelf really quickly. I feel like it has to be a sad one. I honestly think Happy Place by Emily Henry is the only book that just makes sense in my head for this song. Obviously the way that I interpret I Love You, I'm Sorry, and I feel like what the whole song is about is just this romance that obviously went south. It's kind of a case of self-sabotage and just being like, hey, I still love you and I'm sorry that this happened. I feel like that's just what Happy Place is, honestly. I mean, both of our main characters in this book are just so broken and like keep making mistakes. Obviously their relationship will prosper in the end, but at the state that they start at in this book, I just feel like the way that this book is written and just the way that these characters interact with each other, even just in the friendships in this book, not just the main relationship that's the core of this book, like even in all the friendships that are happening, I'm like, I feel like it's giving heavy I love you, I'm sorry vibes. Like, trust me, I know it's always about me. I love you, I'm sorry. And then we also have 2 summers from now, hey. They go on vacation every summer with their friend group. We'll have been talking, but not all that often. We're cool now. Then the lyric, because that's just the way life goes. I push my luck, it shows. Thankful you don't send someone to kill me. Happy Place by Emily Henry. Okay, everyone, let's see what our next song is. Oh, so we chose Pain and Agony today. Okay. That'll Be the Day by Shawn Mendes. One of the most underrated songs I think ever to exist in the world. I know what book this correlates with. The book that I'm going to pick for That'll Be the Day by Shawn Mendes is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. This is the sweetest, cutest book, and I don't think like it completely correlates to the song, but hear me out, okay? Let me read some lyrics to you guys because it'll all make sense, I promise. The first lyrics of the song say, you could move away, you could build a home with somebody I don't know, doesn't matter what you say. It's not ever gonna change, you can fight the truth till your face turns blue, this love is here to stay. 3 words, 2 people, Elliot and Macy. This is yet another second chance romance, but it's a childhood friends to lovers, and I feel like That'll Be the Day by Shawn Mendes is one of those songs that's kind of just like you keep going back to this person because you know that your love will never go away and that this is the person for you, so it's like a right person wrong time type of trope. And then on top of that we have like the insurmountable like feeling that just keeps coming, like creeping in, that you're like, oh, I'm gonna lose this person one day. That's kind of also a reoccurring theme in this book, I feel like, especially with our character Macy, because Macy is struggling with grief still all these years later, so she kind of like, I guess, pushes that on people around her. The song in this book just kind of makes sense together in my head, hoping that it's not only in my head, but love this book and love that song. Okay, the next song is Drumroll Please. I'm like looking through the lyrics, I'm like, hey, this is like, I can't correlate a book to this song because it just doesn't make sense. I don't think any of the books would match this song. Let's skip past this one. Sorry Kendrick, Love You. I'm a big Kendrick stan, but we gotta skip this one because I genuinely, like, how do I correlate a book to this song? Let's see what our next song is. SZA. Love her, love her. Okay, Another Life by SZA. In another life we might work out and we might be perfect for each other, but only in another life. What book kind of makes sense with that? Guys, I'm honestly between Normal People by Sally Rooney and 800 Grapes by Laura Dave, but I feel like there's another song that could fit Normal People so much better. So I'm gonna pick 800 Grapes by Laura Dave for this one. Honestly, I do think that at the core of this book, this is like a sibling and family dynamic, and you're kind of exploring the family dynamic, but there's also a subplot of romance in this book. Our main character is actually engaged. When she's in like this big city and everything, she feels like their relationship is perfect, but then she comes back home and she realizes, like, I don't know what's going on, but like we just don't work out. Like this big city person is not who I am, but maybe in that other alternate universe where I am a big city person, I'm with all these friends and I'm around these people and all that stuff, in that life it might work, but just not in the one that she actually is in. And I also think the lyrics, done trying to be your favorite, done trying to fix your template, I don't want to be just a shell of me, just another thing in your gallery. I feel like this just makes sense in my head. I don't know why. Next one of my favorite songs. We're really going on like the sad, like decline, depression. That's the vibe that just hit us. Still by Noah Kahan. I feel like I take this song in a way of grief and also in the way of like someone moving away and moving on with their life, or you trying to move on but you can't move on. Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan is the book that I'm gonna pick for this song. I feel like the way this book and these characters deal with everything, going from like grief to trauma to depression, literally all of that stuff, I feel like just makes sense with the song Still. It really itches a part of my brain. Every time I hear the song Still, I genuinely think of these characters, and I think of Archer like a lot when I'm listening to the song because it's him in a nutshell, unfortunately, and I'm gonna cry. Whoa. This is not what I was expecting to come out of this video. The whole idea of this book is that one of our main characters named Bree ends up going to this small town to run away from her past and all her problems in her life. So she goes to this small town, she meets this guy named Archer, but he actually cannot talk because he went through crazy trauma and things in his past that just like affected him and still affect him now. I'm trying to like speak in code here because I don't want to spoil this book for you guys, but I'm also like, this song just makes sense. The lyrics that make sense for Bree are, it only falls into place when you're falling to pieces. You find love that lasts a while so you lose the reasons, saying God I'm alive but the whole place is quiet. Don't know whether you want a place in the coast or the country. You can't stay here, it's hard to face and it feels too ugly. You light a fire inside yourself, let it burn. Stare up at a starless sky and you say it's like I'm still here with you. Like that just in my head makes sense from Bree's perspective because she's just outrunning her past. You can't stay here, it's hard to face, it feels too ugly. You light a fire inside yourself. That's Bree. That is so Bree. This song unfortunately belongs to Bree and Bree only, and I stand by what I said, okay? Argue with the wall. Next song we have is Billy Joel. Attention everyone, we have a Billy Joel song in the house. I love Billy Joel so much, but I feel like nobody knows that about me. I'm the biggest Billy Joel stan. I feel like the way I view this song is like people are constantly holding you back from what you want to do and are constantly telling you, hey, you shouldn't do this, or you should do it like this, or just running their mouths, you know what I mean? And you're like, hey, keep it to yourself, it's my life. My Life by Billy Joel. Love the song, love the song, love the song, love the song. Let's find a book for this. I don't know if this fully fits like the vibe of the song, but I feel like it fits the lyrics. So do you guys care about vibe? I feel like it just fits the lyrics so well that I can't not talk about this book. I'm gonna pick Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver for this one. Hey, feel free to disagree with me because I kind of disagree with me for this one too. I just feel like in the lens of Skylar's relationship with her parents, this song just fits to a T. I don't know if it fits the whole vibe of the book at all because this is like a small town romance. This is like not the same exact vibe of this song, but I feel like it makes sense for Skylar, maybe not for Skylar and Weston, or the whole book as a whole. But I do have to talk about it because Skylar's relationship with her parents really stuck out to me, and I feel like the reason I correlate it to this song is just because Skylar is a very famous country artist, and basically her parents just control her entire life. And then she runs away to this small town and ends up staying in Rose Hill Ranch, but I just feel like the way that her and her parents interact with each other, especially because like her dad oversees everything in her career. I don't need you to worry for me because I'm all right. I don't want you to tell me it's time to come home. I don't care what you say anymore. This is my life. Go ahead with your own life, leave me alone. And then also the you can speak your mind but not on my time. I feel like it just follows the whole course of her relationship with her parents and how that kind of shifts and changes as you're going through this story. Take everything about this recommendation with a grain of salt because the whole vibe of this book is not the same as the song, but Skylar's relationship with her parents really fits to a T. Let's do another song. Carolina? Love this song and love Harry Styles. Hey, if Harry Styles does not release another album this year, I actually might just lose all of my sanity, because where is he? Where has he gone? Please come back. I feel like I have to give this song to Poppy and People We Meet on Vacation because I just feel like it encapsulates her and her vibe and her energy. Poppy lives in New York City. She has family back in her hometown. She moved away, and then also on top of all of that, let me pull up some lyrics. It says she's got a book for every situation, gets into parties without invitations. How could you ever turn her down? Like, that's literally what Alex would say about Poppy. It's the how would I tell her that she's all I think about? Well, I guess she's just found out. Love them, and I haven't been in their world with them in like 3 years. So I need to reread this book ASAP, but love this book, and love that song. Oh my gosh. Let's do yet another song. I'm having like the time of my life with this video. I'm sorry. Like, this video is about to be long because I'm having such a fun time with this. Let's see what our next song is. Guys, Scott Street by Phoebe Bridgers. Yay! Such a happy, fun song. There is one book that I have to pick that just correlates to Scott Street, unfortunately, and I'm sorry for all the pain and agony I'm about to bring you guys. I feel like I honestly have to pick The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas for this one. I'm so sorry to like put that on you guys and say the title because it just brings me to tears. Oh my god, okay. The whole idea of the book Assassin's Blade is basically you're following our main character Selena, and she grows up in this assassin's guild. She is one of the most feared assassins. This guy is obviously taking advantage of her, and she is now part of this assassin's guild and can't escape. So the whole book is kind of following her going on these different missions and learning new things about herself and about who she wants to be and how to escape this assassin's guild. And by the end of the book, something happens that's actually so devastating and tragic I can't not cry every time I think about it, so. But I don't think that the thing at the end of the book that happens is what I'm correlating to this song. I think the reason why I correlate this song with that book is just simply because the guy who's running the Assassin's Guild, who's obviously taking advantage of Selena and I guess just forcing her to do this, Scott Street. The whole idea of the song Scott Street is that this girl is in this age gap romance with this guy. Now, for context, The Assassin's Blade, like, it's not an age gap romance, it's just an age gap friendship, mentorship. But basically, the whole idea of Scott Street is that this age gap romance is occurring, and then this girl ends up growing up, and the more and more she ages, the more and more she realizes how detrimental it was to herself and to just her life in general, and how it's going to affect her like so much, and how it still affects her so much. The lyrics, I'm spending money and I earned it, but when I'm lonely, that's when I'll burn it. I feel like that just encapsulates Selena in the beginning of The Assassin's Blade. And then we obviously also have the lyric, do you feel ashamed when you hear my name? And then also on top of that, the way that the song ends by saying, anyway, don't be a stranger, I just feel like that encapsulates the whole idea that both of these people, Selena and blank, because I don't want to spoil anything, they both are just going to be reoccurring characters in each other's lives for the rest of each other's lives because it's just how it's going to have to happen. That book destroyed me and the song destroys me just the same. Next song we have is Marjorie by Taylor Swift. Oh my god, I relate to this song like crazy. Yeah, it's no secret that I struggle with grief, okay? I feel like a lot of the songs on my playlist, on my top songs playlist, just, hey, give me 20 more. Marjorie by Taylor Swift is obviously a song that deals with a lot of grief. It's just a song about losing someone you love. I see it in the form of a grandparent. I'm not gonna use it in the form of a grandparent for this situation. I'm gonna use it in the form of her aunt. You guys already know what I'm gonna pick, okay? If you've been on my channel for 2 seconds, you would already know this by now, but I'm gonna pick the 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I just feel like the vibes, the lyrics, literally everything correlates to the 7-Year Slip. 7-Year Slip, if you guys didn't know, is actually one of my favorite books of all time, so I'll find any excuse to talk about it, but I just feel like it fits so perfectly, I can't not put it to this song. The whole idea of the 7-Year Slip is that you're following this main character named Clementine. Now, basically, her aunt passed away, so she's dealing with the grief of that, and then she also has to go to her aunt's apartment to start cleaning up and moving everything out because Clementine is selling her aunt's apartment. But the whole idea of her aunt's apartment is that sometimes when you walk in the door, you can either go 7 years in the future, 7 years in the past, or be like in your current time. And the plot of this book is that Clementine meets this guy, and it's kind of like a romance book, but I feel like to its core, it's also like just dealing with this crazy grief. It just really struck a chord with me the same way that the song Marjorie by Taylor Swift does, because Marjorie is about losing someone you love and just trying to deal with that, and how you wish that there was more time and you should have just really taken in every moment with the person. Oh my god, you guys literally hear me start choking on my voice because I'm just like Oh my god, okay. I didn't know better, I think you were still around. What died didn't stay dead, what died didn't stay dead. You're alive in my head. And then we have all the lyrics. The autumn chill that wakes me up. You love the amber skies so much. Long limbs and frozen swims. You'd always go past where our feet could touch. And I complained the whole way there, the car ride back and up the stairs. I should have asked you questions. I should have asked you how to be. Asked you to write it down for me. Should have kept every grocery store receipt because every scrap of you would be taken from me. And also just the ending of the song saying, if I didn't know better, I think you were still around. I know better, but I still feel you all around. I know better, but you're still around. Our second to last song we have is The Lucky One by Taylor Swift. I already know what I'm going to pick for this one. It's pretty evident. I feel like if you don't think about the 7 husbands of Evelyn Hugo when you listen to this song, you're just dead wrong. Basically, this book is written in the sense of a memoir. It's like this girl gets called to go write a story about Evelyn Hugo's life, and Evelyn Hugo is going to do a whole tell-all. So it's kind of just like you follow Evelyn Hugo's life, and obviously Evelyn Hugo is seen as this very, very famous person in the limelight. It affects her, her relationships, her mental health, literally everything. And of course, I'm gonna have some lyrics to read to you guys. New to town with a made-up name, in the angel's city chasing fortune and fame, and the camera flashes make it look like a dream. And then moving on, we also have You Had It Figured Out Since You Were in School, Everybody Loves Pretty, Everybody Loves Cool. We also have the lyrics, and they tell you that you're lucky, but you're so confused because you don't feel pretty, you just feel used. And then also, I guess the reason why I correlate this song to this book is just because also Evelyn Hugo kind of runs away from the spotlight. I mean, like, not completely, but she kind of just settles down and stops telling everything and stops being like on the front page. The lyrics, it was a few years later, I showed up here, and they still tell the legend of how you disappeared, how you took the money and your dignity and got the out. They say you bought a bunch of land somewhere, chose the Rose Garden over Madison Square, and it took some time, but I understand it now. I never get to talk about this book, so I feel like this just truly healed me. I love this book, if you guys didn't know. The last song that I have is another Taylor Swift song. This is Me Trying by Taylor Swift. Now, if you guys want to know one thing that relates to This Is Me Trying, hey, you're looking at her in the flesh, okay? But I also think that this song relates so heavily to one of the characters in one of my favorite books of all time. Let me grab the book. For this one, I unfortunately have to pick Normal People by Sally Rooney. I just feel like Connell is the encapsulation of This Is Me Trying. That's also why I loved this book so much, and why I loved Connell so much was because I related to him on so many deeper levels, and I just feel like this song in general is his song. Like, I don't make the rules, it's his song. Hey, sorry, you guys are all gonna have to just give the song to Connell if that's okay with you. Don't hate me, hate the game, you know what I mean? First and foremost, all of the lyrics make sense with Connell. Let's just start there, okay? But I'll read the ones that I feel like make the most sense with Connell. I've been having a hard time adjusting. I had the shiniest wheels, now they're rusting. I didn't know if you'd care if I came back. I have a lot of regrets about that. I feel like the whole idea of this book is just that Connell and Marianne are these friends slash lovers, and you're just following them along their life and their relationship and how their relationship shifts and molds. Then a spin of them in high school, then to college, and then I believe it even follows them after college. How things change and how the trauma and past affects them to this day, and how like they're still trying to deal with it and just like getting diagnosed and everything like that. So I feel like Connell especially is the forefront of this book for me personally. I loved Marianne too. And then also we have I was so ahead of the curve became a sphere, fell behind on my classmates, and I ended up here. Like, that is literally Connell. All throughout high school, he was like this very popular high school kid, like the stereotypical popular high school guy. And then in college, all of that just shifted and changed, and he started dealing with like mental health stuff, and he dealt with finding friends and finding himself, and they told me all of my cages were mental, so I got wasted like all my potential. Well, I was so ahead of the curve became a sphere, fell behind all my classmates, and I ended up here. Like, that is literally him. I'm sorry, that's him. And then it's also obviously the lyrics, and it's hard to be at a party when I feel like an open wound. It's hard to be anywhere these days when all I want is you. You're a flashback and a film reel on the one screen in my town, and I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. Connell tried so hard to be exactly what Marianne needed in every phase of their lives, and it just really breaks my heart every time I think about it, because it's also just every time he would go back to his hometown, the only thing at the forefront of his brain was Marianne, and everything in his life was just like Marianne, and he was kind of trying to deal with the fact that he should start thinking about himself sometimes too, and start, you know, fixing his problems and his mental health struggles. And Connell, I love you. Anyways, with all that being said, that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want a part 2, please let me know. I had the time of my life filming this video. Like, I love everything to do with books and music, and I just feel like this is my two worlds colliding into one video, and I had the time of my life filming this. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check out all my socials, links down in the description box down below. I love you guys so much. I'll see you super soon with another video. Goodbye.